everybody. Okay, so we're back. Our stream is working now, so I'm very, very happy. All right, so we're going to let me just quickly adjust this. I think this is better. All right, okay, so all is good. Let's see. Okay, so today I'm just going to do like an overall revision, and I also noticed I've not been pushing the code to GitHub. That I'm very sorry about. I actually just noticed that a few minutes ago. So let's quickly do like a recap on everything, right? Just or instead of doing a recap, I can just I think it's better to like explore the other sides. Well, I think I have some time, so let's quickly go into it. So I'll just go into my project here. I think YouTube, and I'll just say mkdir chapter 13 and then seed into chapter 13. Okay, chapter 13. Oh, okay, chapter 13 exists. All right, then let's pick it 14 now. I think 14 is better. 14. Okay, so we're in 14 now. So I'll just clear this. I think even clear is better. All right, so we'll create a new file called index.c as usual, and here let's finesse a little bit. Let's try. So we'll look at so I have this website here. They have these various steps, so we'll do the basic stuff, right? And probably do 2 of the advanced stuff here. So I can just come back here. Let me zoom back in to this part so that the screen is a little bit wider for you to see. All right, so this is better, I guess. Okay, so let's first start with going into insert mode, and then put include stdio.h like this, and then we start a new function called main, right? And then let's just print hello world. This is our first task, right? So print hello world in C. So say hello world like this, and always try to make things look good. So adding a new line there, and every C program has to end with this. Every line in your code has to end with this semicolon here, otherwise the compiler will scream at you. So okay, let's close this now, and I think that's all you need. So let's exit, go back here, write this file, open our terminal. So open the terminal like this. So I think we'll use vertical terminal. Yep, good. I think this is too zoomed in, so I will kind of zoom out a little bit. Yeah, this is better. Okay, so let's clear the terminal here, and we can move around like this and like that. All right, so we'll need to compile this code. So we'll do cc index.c. This will compile the code, and if you look into the directory here, you can see an a.out file, right? So let me. So there are other ways you can actually compile your code, right? Actually, the compiler we are using here is the GCC compiler. So I installed it. You can do that with your operating system. But another way to compile your code, but this time around it will create a bunch of files which I don't really like. So let's first of all delete the a.out file. So I'll say rm.a.out. So when we do ls, we no longer see there. So let's clear the terminal now. Okay, so you can do gcc, right? And then the name of your file, which is index.c, and then we want to output this into, right, compile this into let's call this hello, because this is a hello world program. All right, so when we do ls, you'll see a bunch of files created. Okay, we already have hello. I think there are 3 steps into the compilation process, and I explained that in day 1, I think, when I started this series. So if you go back in chapter 1, you'll see I kind of went into detail as to how this compilation is done. So if you want to run this code now, we can just do things like this, hello, and then you can see hello world is printed on the screen. But as you all notice, this command is much more verbose than the other one, right? But the good thing about this one is you can actually specify the name of the file you want the compilation to turn into. All right. So, and I think you can compile, you can, let's say you want to create different compilation for different programs. So different compilation files. So in this case, we'll do gcc index.c. Let's output this into 2. Let's just put 2 like this, 2, right? Okay, so when we do ls, you can see we have hello and 2. So these are 2 separate compiled version of the code. In fact, if I did this, let's just come here again, and I'll come to this line. So let's come to this place. I'll go into, okay, you know what, let's go back, and then CI clear everything inside, and then start typing. Okay, so let's say this is a new compiled code, right? This is a new compiled code, and then we add in the new line, right, like this. Okay, and let's quickly exit, right? This, go to our terminal, and then clear this here, right? And let's try to compile this instead into 2. Now you'll see that these 2 and then the hello will both have separate outputs, different outputs, sorry. So if we do 2 like this, 2 will show us that this is a new compiled code, and when we run hello, the hello compiled file, so let's do hello like this, and you can see hello is telling us hello world. So the compilation is different. So until you compile the code, right, whatever was stored previously still remains the same. All right, so now we can go into the next step, which is variables, right? So in C we have different ways of creating variables, and variables are basically little temporary storage, or let's say what else can we call them? I want something more simple, but I mean, these are like, when you want to visualize this, you think of a box, right, where you store things. So for example, we have the int type variable. So int type variable means this variable only stores integers. This is numbers from, negative numbers to 0 to infinity. And then not to infinity, but I think there's a certain size limit for integers. We have integers, we have characters. So let me just quickly create those. So here we'll just do like okay, I think let's come down to this line here and clear this line. I think we'll do cc, clear the line, and then we'll just create an integer. So int x is going to be 2. Oh, okay, I pressed on 3 already. So we have other ones called char or character, right? This will store single values. So I'll just put okay, ch for, I mean, the name of the variable can be anything, right? You can call it anything you want. So we can do this, and this can only store a single character, right? So for example, a like this, right? This is all this does, storing a single character. So if you want another variable, we can create so to create strings, right, you can do this. You can do this and say this, or let's just say my string like this, right? And then put this square bracket in front of it and say hello hello world. Okay, let's try to print this out and see what the output will be. So first of all, we'll print out the int. So now there's something you need to do whenever you're printing out a character, or I mean a variable of a certain type. There is something called format specifier. Format specifier basically tells the compiler what kind of variable we are trying to print out, right? Otherwise the compiler doesn't know, and then the compiler, I mean, if you do this, let's say we want to pass in x here, right? X like this, say we want to print x. This will not work because, I mean, the compiler doesn't know what this is. So let's go into here, write this, go to here, clear this, and then let's try to compile this into, okay, I'll just compile this into vars. So I'll say gcc index.c outputs should go into variables, or let me just put vars like this, right? You can see we have a warning here, so I'll just do control \control n to go into this mode so that I can scroll through this place. Okay, so you can see here it says int, I mean in function main, at this, on this line, which is on the line 5, I think, yeah, there is an error. So, I mean, this integer was initialized here. Initialization from char makes integer from pointer Okay, I think this is also like a different so there are other warnings as well. I think this character here, the quotation mark argument of printf, so you can see there's the printf error here. It says argument 1 of printf makes pointer from integer without a, right? So basically we are not actually getting the value, right? We're actually getting the pointer value. So again, let's exit out of this and clear this again, come back here. So first of all, I would like to correct this one. I think to create a character variable or a char, I mean, I don't know what the right pronunciation is, but to do that, I think you need to put it in a single quotation mark, right? Is it a single quotation mark? I've forgotten these things now, but yeah, I think it's a single quotation mark. So let's go to this place and okay, so let's just delete this. Okay, and say, okay, I'm still doing the same thing. I'll put a here like this, right? Exit. I still want the error to show, but for printf, right? So let's go to this place here, clear, and then we'll compile this again into vars. We'll get our error, This time around, you can see the error is much more smaller than it was before. So Control back, Control N, and then we can scroll up to look at what happened. So, and you can see here at this position, let's go down, let's scroll down. Okay, so here we have the error showing that the pointer from integer without so like we are trying to do a type conversion here, which is not really allowed. So you cannot try to print out a variable without actually specifying the format in which you want to print that variable. And format specifier is just to tell the compiler that they say, hey, this is this variable that I want to print, and this is the type of variable it is. So let's go back to this place and then change this. So this format, every variable type has its specific format specifier, right? So in this case, for x, it will be, so let's do it this way. So you put it in quotation mark. X is an integer, so it will be d, right? So is our integer, right? So I just add some words in there. So new line, and then passing. Okay, new line has to be like this. So let's undo this. Oh, okay, redo it. Okay, out, undo. Okay, let's just move in here and then go here. I did this one, right? Okay, cool. So now we can move into the next part, which is here, and then we'll pass in the variable that we want to print out. Okay, we are done with that. So let's go back and write this. Come here, clear. Okay, here we have to go to insert mode, change the mode from read mode to terminal. Yep. Okay, so we can now print out what. Let's try to compile this code, and you can see our compilation was successful. Now we can just print. We can just run this again. So, okay, it's going to be vars, I think. Yeah, and you can see 3 is our integer is printed, and you can see it here. I hope you getting this. So let's move on to printing other variables, right? So we have other ones as well. I mean, it's not just integers, and their format specifiers are different each time you try to print each one of them. So the next thing we'll just look at is I'm trying to like brush through this. So let's go into arrays. Arrays are like a collection of items of the same type, and by type I mean variable type. For example, int, right? You can have an array of all integers or a set of integers. So here you come back. Let's quickly clear this up. Okay. So we'll create our first array. So let's keep deleting these lines. I'll clear all of these. Okay, you know what? The best way to even do this is to just go back up here and come here and do like a CI. Bam. Okay, that's gone. So we can say to create an array of integers. You can create an array of integers, an array of characters or charts, an array of anything basically, right? So for example, you can do something like this. So int, you start, so I'll create an array of integers. Int, you give the array a name, so you can say null. Okay, let's just say nums, right? Which means numbers. And then the size of the array. For now, I'll leave it empty. Otherwise, you have to specify the size. So in this case, you can do like 5. This means this array will contain 5 integers only, right? So now we can do this, come here, and then we start passing in the values into the arrays. Now the syntax here is a bit a bit different, right? So I mean, passing in the integers, you have to like do something like this. You put in your curly braces and then you say 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And 4, because this is now 5 items. And what we can do is just go like this, right? And then let's try to also use like loops to iterate through this array. So what I would do instead, I'll say I'm coming. Siri. Okay, so I mean, arrays basically have like a certain property, right? By property, I mean they have a size. There's a way you can check the size of your array. The first item in an array is at index 0, right? And so on. So, and the last item will be at index, the length of the array minus 1, because we start counting elements in an array from 0. The index starts counting from 0. So, okay, so let's just go into a new line. Here, what I would do is I would first try to show you how to get the length of an array. Since the length is going to be an integer, which is a number, so say len of the array, or len, yeah, len, let's call it len. Now finding the length of the array is actually not straightforward, right? So what you do is you first of all use size